Good morning, everyone. Steve the Technophile here, and I just wanted to give everybody a quick update on the gardens and just kind of like how everything's going on and how everything's growing. I've had a lot of comments and a lot of people emailing me asking for tips and tricks, advice, and I've even been helping people over Instagram, which has been kind of cool to make some new friends online during this lockdown because here in the Bay Area, we are still under a lockdown. So, uh, much of the other parts of the world, United States, are enjoying some of their services and restaurants open. We do not have that luxury right now. So, we're still kind of cooped up here in the house. It's nice to be able to chat with y'all. So I just want to give you an update about the gardens. We have down there on the bottom left hand corner a new addition, and I can talk about that a little bit in a little bit. But first, I wanted to talk about the AeroGardens. So we do have the Bounty Elite Wi-Fi here on the right, and this one really has blown my socks off. I never thought, the day I planted this, or even when I was doing research on it, how well it was going to do. The time, on the other hand, is definitely taking its time, but it's very fragrant and has yielded uh, some herbs for us to cook with, which is nice. The chives definitely are taking its time too. Uh, that was the one herb I was really, really excited about next to the basil. Uh, but the chives are taking a while. I've kind of got a little bit more aggressive, hoping that would kind of kickstart its growing spurt. It really hasn't. I have been doing every 30 days, taking all the water out and refreshing it with distilled water. And it kind of helps a little bit. The roots were getting pretty crazy down there, so I did trim roots a couple of days ago. In my next video, I'll be showing pictures of that. But it went really well. The plants didn't seem to go into shock at all. And just added the nutrients as if I was starting it, like a normal feeding. And they're doing really well. I do need a trim. The parsley grows so fast. And it's a herb that we really don't use that much. So last week, I butchered this entire thing. And with the Thai basil, the regular basil, the parsley, dried it in our Ninja Foodie dehumidifier, and they turned out great. Really, really impressed with the Ninja Foodie, and we've been cooking with the herbs, and it's been really, really good. This is the Wi-Fi model. The Wi-Fi issues kind of seem to come and go, but I really can't complain about this. It's really provided everything it's promised. I don't know what I'm going to plant in here afterwards because this is still going strong and still providing a lot of herbs. But we'll find out. This is the taller version. Supposedly the hood goes up to 24 inches. I've heard it's more like 22. So this one will accommodate larger, taller growing plants like tomatoes, jalapenos. So we'll find out. All right, here in the center we do have the Harvest. This is the 360 Elite in stainless steel. And as you can see, we are growing romaine in mixed greens. This has been really a lot of fun. If you want instant gratification, grow lettuce. These sprouted within days, and they're hardy. It's easy to grow, and it's really something quick that you can grow and eat. The herbs, on the other hand, take their time, and that's fine. But if you want something quicker, I really recommend the lettuce. Again, this is romaine with mixed greens, and it is doing beautifully. I do prune across the top, as you can kind of see in in the back right over here. I just do a cut with clean scissors. If you use dirty scissors or cheap scissors, you can get some black ends. I didn't clean my scissors last time, and you can kind of see. Let me see if I can find it for you. Right there, it's not looking too hot, and it was because I did not clean my scissors. I should have. But if you get some nice scissors that are clean, um, you'll end up having cuts like this that look good. And I mean, they're still edible, but some people might be a little bit more particular on how their lettuce looks. So both of these plants, or both of these systems, do have a USB powered air pump. And someone was asking, do you have to drill holes? And no, you don't. I left this little plug here, but these plugs come out and you perfect size for an air pump. I recommend black tubing because you don't want any light to go into your basin. It will start growing algae. There's a tube right there. I don't know if I can get back there. You can kind of see it. But yeah. So you do not have to drill holes. And it's one USB pump with a splitter. And it's doing great. Open this up. You can see it's bubbling in there. Added oxygen doesn't hurt. Some people will argue that you don't need it. I think it has done a good job here. Forgot to mention, I took the mint out of here. My last video, people were asking if I transplanted any of my herbs, and I said, no, I don't need to. And then that got me thinking, the mint just isn't doing anything, and it ended up, the roots just, were growing everywhere. The roots were growing out from underneath the lip here, and also had shooters of extra mint coming out, and it's just kind of not worth it. So what I did was 3D printed a plug so no light gets in, and it screws from the bottom and to the top and creates a nice seal, but still lets the water go through. I tested it out to make sure it wasn't redirecting in some odd way, but this 3D printed plug made a nice difference. Also, no light is leaking. And so what I did was I successfully transplanted the mint. So someone was asking about transplanting. What you really need to do is make sure you keep the soil really moist. You want to mimic the environment for that plant that it was experiencing here inside the hydroponic system. The roots are exposed to water the entire time, and it's moist. If you just plant this and then water it a couple of days later, it will wilt and not look too happy. So this is a kind of like a self-watering planter. Excess water will go to the bottom, so it's not sitting in water. But I'm happy to report that the mint is doing really well. It has experienced a pretty big growth spurt after putting it in soil. I just don't know if this variant wasn't happy with hydroponics or just wasn't getting the light or the nutrients. Not everything is always going to grow the same in the same environment. Also, it wasn't growing as high as the other ones, so maybe it wasn't receiving enough light. But so to answer your question, yes, I have finally successfully transplanted an herb. This is mint. Kept the soil pretty moist, as you can see it still is. And yeah, it's very happy. The lights underneath here are USB powered grow lights. So that's definitely aiding in the growth. So let's move on. Oh, so people are asking about the fan. I think the fan has been a very important addition to growing lettuce. It keeps it cool. As you can see, it's moving the leaves around, mimics wind, and that will definitely help keep your lettuce crisp. I've been cutting this and putting it right in the fridge in water, eating it many days later, and it's very crispy and delicious. The fan was really inexpensive. Found it on Amazon. I actually have two of these, and I'll leave links for everything below that I talk about. Plus, it feels nice. I like the breeze. All right, so moving on, we have the Botanium, and we have two of these. And I am beyond happy with the Botanium. It's a very simple system. I've talked about it previously in my other videos, but as you can see, it is growing beautiful, sweet peppers, banana peppers. I love them. We've in previous videos you can see that we've grown pretty large ones. So right now, what I did was I cut off the other peppers, and magically new ones popped up within days. So if they're ripe and they're ready to cut them so the plant can divert energy to growing new ones. I have been cutting off the stems. The plant's just getting a little too big for this area, so I'm pruning it to keep it more bushy and trying to keep it below these lights. I do have them on Velcro so I can move them up and down easily, mainly up. Definitely just moving the lights up, not down. But again, the Botanium is perfect. People were messaging me asking what food am I using in the Botaniums, and I am using their nutrients. You can buy them off their website. I think I bought like 6 or 8 bottles, and the food's been perfect. For peppers, when your Botanium water reservoir is empty, use 4 pipettes basically, and you fill it up and you're ready to go. And that's the same thing I'm using here on the cayenne peppers. This is another Botanium system, and as you can see, it is growing really well. There's also like a curlicue pepper in the back, which is really neat too. These guys are cayenne peppers. They are spicy as heck, and the plant's been getting pretty big, so I have been cutting back the plants. It's just, as you can see here, I've been cutting the parts off, and it's getting too big for this area too. But yeah, it's just nonstop peppers. So very, very happy. I'll leave links to the Botanium, and I believe if you go to their website right now, they are 20% off in celebration of their Kickstarter, which I believe has met its goal multiple times over, and there's still availability to back their new system called the Vega. I would check that out if I were you. It's a lot of fun. So these are some other regular plants that I'm growing, propagating some succulents, and last but definitely not least is this new system that I've been playing with. This is called the Orchid Box, and I'm using an old iPhone right now to do some time-lapse videos. And in my next video, I'll post some cool videos. But yeah, this thing is a lot of fun. It's a smart terrarium, and it uses an optical water sensor to let you know when you need to add water. There's a little reservoir down there in the middle, and you can see it's not quite empty yet. But when that gets low, this light right here will start changing different colors to let you know what you need to do. This button that you see here lets you turn the light on and off inside the Orchid Box. It's a beautiful LED light. At night, it's a nice kind of a crisp, warm color, It's not too yellow and it's not too blue, and it kind of works really well at night too as an accent light. The light is variable, so I think there's 7 or 8 different levels of intensity you can use, and there is a timer. The timer, you can set it yourself if you want it. I have it right now set at 16 hours to stay on during the day. But if you want to manually turn this on and off with a button, it will learn over time your schedule, which I thought was kind of cool. And if you go to their website, it's orchidbox.io. You can select what type of plants you'd like shipped with your orchid box, or you can just buy the box by itself and grow your own plants. I opted for the carnivorous. Actually, no, I lied. I asked them to surprise me, and they sent me this guy. And there are, if I can zoom in, but look at those right dead center in the screen. Those are baby Venus flytraps, and they're doing really well. They've perked up a lot, and there's some other carnivorous plants in there, and overall, they're doing really good. It comes with this nice Mr. bottle, which is kind of cool looking. I like it a lot. It goes well. And for the carnivorous plants, you should only be using distilled water. Do not use tap water. There's too much minerals in there. These types of plants want basically no minerals in the water or in the soil. This gets all of its nutrients from the water and the light. My only complaint, it's not really a complaint, but just suggestion that I was giving them, is that when you send out any plants, let the customer know exactly what you sent out and to give them grow instructions. They're pretty much still kind of a new company, so I think they may be learning as they're going. But if I had to give them, rate them out of 5 stars, I would give them probably 6 stars at this point. This hardware is spot on. It's not cheaply made. The acrylic on here is really clear. Shipping was super fast. Packaging was really nice. It's made or it's designed here in the United States in Dallas, Texas, and so very, very happy to support a U.S. based company. But the lid does come right off. You can see there's an LED light and closes right there. There are vents on the side, so air can get in and out. This is not a sealed system, so you don't want to tip this over. But you do want some sort of aeration. You don't want this to be completely sealed. But you can order succulents, mosses from their website, and again, you can just buy the box by itself and grow your own plants. But I definitely recommend this if you enjoy growing other things besides, lettuces and peppers like I am. I think this is a lot of fun. I'd like to get another one and try succulents. I think that would be pretty cool. I am definitely a noob. I keep telling everybody that. And especially, I am a new plant enthusiast when it comes to carnivorous plants. So I've been doing some research, trying to find out what's going to make these guys happy. And so far, so good. I'll leave links below for the orchid box. Again, I definitely recommend them. I'm sorry it's a little cluttered here, but I am trying to get some fun time-lapse videos. I've had this, I think, since Saturday. And everything's kind of been bouncing back, which is great. They do give you a big set of tweezers, so it's really easy to grow all of this in there. And they give you the substrate, everything you need, except for this, it's distilled water. Again, if you are doing carnivorous plants, distilled water is a must. All right, I think I've given giving you guys all the updates I can think of. I know once I end the video, I'm going to remember something that I forgot to tell you. But feel free to ask any questions below. I'll leave a link below to everything I've been talking about. And I hope you guys all have a great day. I'll chat with you soon. Bye.